What is happening, guys? It's Monster Chappie. We're back today for some more Battlefield gameplay, and this is more of like a mesh of gameplays again, just like the last video where we had a bunch of the stream games in a row. Basically, this is me trying out the DMRs, getting used to them, unlocking them. Usually, when I first start playing Battlefield, when the new one comes out or whatever the case may be, I like to try to unlock all the kits. I like to try to unlock all the weapons. I like to unlock all the guns, and really just try to unlock as much as I can. Some of the assignments I don't do, but as far as just leveling through the guns, you know, unlocking the ones you get by just getting a certain amount of kills, I definitely try to do that. And I've done that with this Battlefield thus far. The DMRs, in my opinion, were the most difficult for me personally. And there's a few reasons why, man. I mean, the learning curve for the machine guns was pretty significant just because of how they are. But for these DMRs, boy, ooh-wee, you want to talk about starting off poorly, seeing how bad your aim really is, and really just getting a reality check. Yeah, that'll do it, these DMRs, I'm telling you. So, first off, up close, you're pretty much going to lose every firefight. You know, and I didn't get that at first. I was thinking, I kind of had the old Call of Duty mindset. When I played Call of Duty, I used the FAL for a while, and that was when that was overpowered before it got patched, as well as the caps. So, or the Cap 40, I think it was called. So, you know, you kind of use those two together, and you're kind of thinking just a little bit, okay, all the DMRs are going to kind of be like the FAL, and they're just going to be laying guys down. You're going to be able to shoot as quickly as you can, just flame, and you're good to go. But the main difference, really huge difference, is that these guns aren't overpowered like that at all. They definitely have their uses, and I can appreciate the uses of these guns now after using them more often and unlocking some of the attachments and things like that. And I would say that for any gun. Before you unlock any attachments and get that really nice combination of attachments that fits well for you with that particular gun for that particular game mode or map that you're on, you're probably going to struggle a little bit, and maybe not necessarily struggle, but it won't be the best that you could possibly get. And sometimes certain weapons that you think aren't that good, after you unlock those attachments, they may become some of your favorite weapons in the game. I've had that happen on a few occasions personally, and definitely can vouch that those attachments are crucial, and getting some attachments that you're comfortable with is always going to be a lovely thing. There are going to be certain attachment combinations that you're just going to end up really liking. Myself in particular, love the stubby grip or the potato grip, and I love running that with the reflex scope. And I love running that with the muzzle brake for the most part. Sometimes I use the compensator, but mostly the muzzle brake. And then I've been using the angled grip for a lot of the burst fire weapons. But, you know, there's just certain combinations for you guys out there. It may be a different grip. It may be a different, you know, attachment, a different barrel or whatever. But whatever combination that you like and prefer, for a lot of the guns, that same combination is going to be good. Maybe with one of the attachments tweaked or one of them changed, or maybe with that weapon you know your usual attachment combination won't work well. Maybe it's, you know, just a bad combination for that particular gun and it just doesn't work. So you really got to play around with those attachments, find out which one's going to work best for you and what you're most comfortable with, because being comfortable is probably, in my opinion, the most important thing on the battlefield. If you're just not comfortable with the gun you're using, even if you're using the Ace 23 or the AEK or, you know, whatever gun is considered really powerful at the time, if you don't have the right attachments on that gun, you may not see why everybody finds that gun to be very powerful or very effective, and you may just, you know, kind of pass it over and just say screw this gun and move on to the next one, and then have the same issues over and over because you're not being patient enough to learn how to work the gun, learn how to, you know, adjust for the recoil, learn how to counter the recoil, learn how to burst, how big of a burst should you use with this gun, how quickly can you fire, should you, you know, tap, should you hold, whatever the case may be. But every gun to me has been different, and that's one thing I really like about Battlefield, as opposed to a Call of Duty where there's not really much recoil, there's not much difference between every gun. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to see a bunch of Call of Duty guys in the comments like, Chappie, you're completely wrong. When I played Call of Duty, the weapons all pretty much felt the same. They just kind of gave you different results, where Battlefield, the weapons are different and they give you different results, if you know what I mean. Where one gun may feel different on Call of Duty just because of the different results you get, but on here you truly get a different result. There's different recoil. Some go left, some go right, some go up really heavily, some go up just slightly. It just really kind of depends which gun it is, and you got to get used to that. But back to these DMRs. Boy, oh boy, why was it such a struggle for me? Again, with the foul mindset, I was thinking I could just, you know, use my itchy trigger finger, get loose, and lay cats down left and right, and I was going to be good to go. And was just losing all my battles up close. Every single battle. If they seen me and I seen them, 8 out of 10 times, if they were a decent shot, I was losing that battle. And that was just a real tough adjustment period. And it just, you know, it was kind of frustrating at a point. So, you know, that's just something you got to get used to. You're going to lose those up close battles. And then when it comes to the really long distance battles, if you're taking on a sniper, you can win once in a while. But if it's a decent sniper, you're not going to win that battle. And that's another thing I had an issue with, because I was trying to snipe with snipers with the DMRs. And although they have a snipe type effect and they are, you know, a sniperish type gun, they are not the actual, you know, scouts. They're not the M98Bs or the you know, what's that one everybody loves? I can't think of it, but I want to say it's like a JSS or a JR, something like that. I don't know. It's like the last one you unlock. That gun is a beast, by the way, but we'll get into that another time. But if you're going to be taking on those guns at a very long distance, oh my goodness, what in the name just happened? Oh no. But again, if you're going to be taking on those guns from a very, very long distance, you're going to be running into a lot of issues. You're probably going to lose those battles a lot of times. So, what are the DMRs good for? If you sneak around and, you know, you can sneak up behind guys, you can definitely get some kills, but that's something you can do with any gun. But the DMRs definitely are effective in that manner, which any gun is effective in that manner, so that's definitely a good way to use it. Another one is to try to keep your battles in the mid-long to, you know, short-long situations. And what I mean by that is just try to keep your battles a little bit longer in distance. Try to keep your battles a little bit further away whenever you're going to go into head-to-head, or whenever you're going to go into you shoot at me, I shoot at you type situation. Now, if you're sneaking around, you can go short range, you can go mid. As long as you're running up behind people, or as you're running up in the side, just running up in their blind spots and then hitting them that way is always effective. Another thing I like using is a lot of cover. Just trying to use the cover, mixing it in. That's something I'm trying to do a lot better with all of my classes and all of my guns. And then, you know, that's to me the best way to use the DMRs. Try to just keep those battles a little bit longer if you're going to go head to head. So, what did the DMRs teach me? Well, first off, before we get into this, I may be one of the worst with grenades ever. Like, I get kills with grenades, but I kill myself with a grenade probably 20% of the time. It's quite embarrassing and really bad. Like, it's not something I thought about working on, is skills with the grenade and how effective I am with them. My accuracy throwing a grenade, getting it in the right spot. And this knife right here really frustrated the heck out of me. I'm like, I see this dude, I'm shooting at him, and he just hits the knife button. And that's why I'm so glad that they have an actual counter knife in Battlefield. Now, he just happened to hit me at just the right angle because he came right off the right side of my blind spot, so they didn't let me counter it. But if they come from the front or something, they're going to let you counter it, and that's why I'm very happy with that. Do I necessarily agree with there being an actual counter thing that shows up on the screen? That's really up to you guys. That's your personal opinion, skill versus, you know, the game just telling you a little bit too much. And right here, I'm an idiot. I jumped down right in front of an assault rifle. The scar at that, just a terrible decision with the DMR, and I lose that. So, you know, you see these types of things when you're playing, especially when you're watching the gameplay after the fact, and you really just learn quite a bit from your mistakes, and you see what you could have done better, what you did poor, and those types of things. And you know, those are the types of things I'm constantly trying to work on, trying to be a better player, regardless of what game I'm playing, but specifically Battlefield, man. You just see when your accuracy is bad. You see what part of your accuracy is bad. Is it because it's a moving target? Is it because they're in a parachute? Is it you know, a distance shot? Is it up close? Where's your accuracy weak? Is it when you're on the move? Is it when you're just sitting still? You know, everybody struggles with different aspects of shooting accuracy, and I pretty much struggle with all of them, and I try to continue to work on all of them. I have my moments, I'm not gonna lie, when I do well, and then I have my moments where oh man, you just got a facepalm just so bad. Like, you just miss an up close target and they just run past you and you just still don't hit them. I got an example in this video, and that's one thing I learned from the DMRs, man. And that's one thing I'm so happy I used these guns, is because it showed me and really exploited that poor accuracy. And if you're not accurate, you will not be able to use a DMR. One of the negatives to this gun type is it's not like a sniper where it's one shot and you can lay them down. Maybe twice you can lay them down. Look at this. Just look at this. Like, if this isn't the most noob... Whew! That aim was terrible. Shoutouts to DPJ. You need to be on my team, DPJ. I don't know why you on the other team. I got to get my revenge real quick. But like a moment like that, if I had an AR, no doubt in my mind that kill would have been made, but I would have missed just as many bullets as I did with the DMR there. And conserving ammo, especially if you're using an assault rifle and you got a med pack where you're going to stay alive a lot more than if you have a different kit, but especially if you're using assault rifles, you can run through ammo really quickly. And unless you got somebody that you're rolling with that rocks support, a lot of the guys that wear support don't drop ammo for you ever. You know, they just kind of think about themselves. And, you know, that's unfortunate, but that's just something you got to get used to. So you got to get a lot more accurate. So with that being said, the beautiful thing about the DMRs is they're going to point out your flaws in accuracy, and they're going to let you know. Because when you hit with the DMR, it's going to take 3 to 5 bullets to the chest to kill them. And it's going to take 1 to 2 headshots to kill someone. Whereas an AR, you can spray 30 bullets really quickly, and then they're just going to go down regardless. And then you're going to end up reloading and getting shot by the next guy because you were inaccurate. So the DMRs, to me, have really helped point out how bad my accuracy is and showed me how much I need to improve. I will get more into detail with that in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And until the next time, we gone.